Right, dear devotees, our dandavats, our obeisances to each other first as we come together. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, we're still a little early. We usually give a few minutes for the devotees to come in, which is fine. A few minutes is not bad in the devotee world for punctuality. And behind Praneshwari, it is the Govinda Mela festival, I believe.
Yes, Maharaj. It's 2 years now from the last Govinda Mela.
Yes, the years pass by. And if this is the news, we've heard this before, with Yamaraj, that white bird, talking to Yudhishthira, actually talking to each of the Pandavas, but to Yudhishthira took the question seriously and then said about how the time is passing by and nobody thinks that it's going to really happen to them, this death, this situation, and therefore nobody takes seriously that preparation. So this is our situation today. Oh my goodness, I've been spotlighted. I'm trying not to see myself like that. Hare Krishna. Okay, now I see the devotees. All right, and on Facebook, Madhava Prabhu's joined us also. So Dandavat Madhava Prabhu. And Sevarupa Devidasi joined us from South Africa for so a truly international.
Dandavat.
Dandavat. And where's Bhagavan Prabhu? Dandavat Sevarupa Didi. Everything good?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Everything peaceful? All the disturbances settled down?
Yes. For me, I think so far, yes, so good.
Okay, all right. Our only shelter is Krishna. Our only shelter is the holy name. When we see danger around, then we must always remember, oh, yes, I must take shelter. I must take my proper shelter, not the shelter of anything transient of this world. And Bhagavan Prabhu, where is your home?
I'm here in Venezuela, Maharaj. This is Barcelona.
Barcelona in Venezuela.
The city by the ocean, by the sea.
Yes.
Close by the sea in Barcelona.
Okay. Buenísimo.
It's a hot city.
All right, Prabhu. And we do see you in the meetings and things from time to time. So happy to have you with us in the back to basics. And here, this is really for everybody.
It's a very honor, and I'm happy to do for you guys. Very honor.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Bhagavan Prabhu. Jai. All right, and Jeevan has joined us too. Jeevanadi, welcome. Also from San Jose, the historic beginning of, in the Western world, the distribution of Guru Maharaj's conception. Hare Krishna. All right, so let us begin. Let's have a mini Vandanam at least. It is good for us. We're all devotees here together. And as we've said in our gatherings before, in one verse we have Vandeham Shri Guru, if we think about it, and we have thought about it. In class number, Praneshwari knows, 57B, I do not know, but in somewhere along the way, we've gone through this one verse, trying to remind ourselves of the reality of what we're doing and of the important points. So first of all, that one verse, and then that verse specifically to Guru, the Guru mantra, Om Agyana Timarandasya. Then to the Vaishnavas, then to Mahaprabhu. Then this will be our invocation. And we can chant Panchatattva Mahamantra and Hare Krishna Mahamantra because it's free and it's good for us. So we can say it together, but you need to keep the microphones off, otherwise it'll be a little odd. So Slowly together. Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangs Cha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So a mini invocation, a mini vandanam, and then now are we sitting comfortably? Now we'll begin. We'll follow in the footsteps of Rupa Nuga Prabhu, sitting comfortably. Jai. Hare Krishna. Well, what can we say? One thing I can say about going back, if you like, back to basics, was that yesterday, and I didn't know this until yesterday, but yesterday, which I suppose I should put in the calendar, was the first day that Srila Govinda Maharaj came into Vila Govinda Ashram in Italy, which is where I'm speaking from now. But we saw some old video from that day, and we saw some pictures and heard. So we saw some pictures through our ears also. Now we're very much like visually centered about, seeing some video. Oh, now I can see the video. But we saw very vivid pictures through our ears from the devotees' descriptions of that day, and not only the day, but the preparation for leading up to the, first of all, the tour that Gurudev will come to Italy, but leading up to having him able to come to the Vila Govinda Ashram. And so they only actually signed and sealed it in April of that same year, which was 2003. 2003. So they signed and sealed it in April, and it was pretty much not fully abandoned, but it was in great need of attention. And the whole garden area was not a garden, it was more or less a jungle. And so between April and July, we heard of the frantic cleaning and like renovation and this, and the gardening. And then with Gurudev's arrival and coming here and being here in the ashram, it was like the opening of the ashram, which sounded to me like something like Srila Prabhupada opening the Chandradoya Mandir in Mayapur, the world headquarters, in fact, in Mayapur of ISKCON, when he told, when Srila Guru Maharaj's lotus feet entered within the temple, then this ceremony, that's completed. This is the opening of the Chandradoya Mandir. So we heard about this yesterday evening, quite by surprise, because I didn't know anything, that even they knew what the date was that Gurudev came into the temple and opened it. And a reminder of the time in the Srimad, in Brahma Samhita. Then there's the description how time in the spiritual world is never separated from past into past and future. It's in the eternal present. And somehow or another, we get a little glimpse how it can be so when we hear these pastimes which take place of the devotees and headed by, the devotee, Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. And I can just say that that was very refreshing for me, like to be reminded and then reminded about so many things of Gurudev's tours, his nature. And when he was traveling was a little different than his nature in India. The things he accepted when traveling, like the standards, the way that things are offered to him, that he would never do in India. For instance, in Australia, there Gurudev was at Govinda Dham, and for his Vyasa Puja in whatever year it was. But there the devotee Haribandhu Prabhu came with a guitar and his electrical, all his electrical equipment with the background track. And Gurudev happily accepting these things, which in Navadip, in Chaitanya Saraswat Math, definitely it wouldn't get in through the gate, practically. I mean, it wouldn't pass. Gurudev's nature in Navadip, nature in Dum Dum Park, our principal, you could say, first extension of Chaitanya Saraswat in Navadip, Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. The extension of the temple of Navadip, you can say the first extension being Calcutta, the ashram. And there, of course, he kept very much the standard as in Navadip, except for one or two things in regard to the Western devotees, which the Westerners can't do in Navadip for the peace of the local Brahmin community. Whereas Gurudev allowed, for instance, cooking for the deities, serving in the kitchen, etc. In Navadip, not allowed, only, and Gurudev explained this, that was only for keeping peace with the Brahminical community, the Brahmin community of that area of Kolarip in Navadip. So as not to disturb them, then Guru Maharaj kept some of the, like the Brahminical standards acceptable to the Brahminical community. So only actual Brahmins were allowed basically on the altar, etc. Though rarely for some other duty, then others were able to go. Anyhow, this is a little bit of news from our world over here. Some like very refreshing reminder of the value of the devotee and the energy, the like selfless energy of the Vaishnavas all over the world for spreading Gurudev's message, Guru Maharaj's message, Srila Prabhupada's message, spreading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message in many ways, including making the ashrams, establishing ashrams and printing the books and doing the collections. And so many things were done in a big wave, 1966 onwards, 1967, taking shape onwards in Srila Prabhupada's time. And principally, we can think 1982 onwards, 1981, 1982, the main kind of push or wave of Srila Guru Maharaj's preaching, the preaching of the devotees for Guru Maharaj, the surrender to Guru Maharaj. And 1988 onwards, but actually 1986 onwards, when Guru Maharaj gave the charge of everything of Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, the secretary, the mat, the president, secretary, president, or charger of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, to Srila Govinda Maharaj. Then from 1986 onwards, Govinda Maharaj. The wave of surrender of the devotees had brought so much good to so many people around the world. And that means from 1996, or you can say 1997, when everything started going, through till 2010, then under the shelter of the Paramahamsa section of devotees. And we must always remember that they are what we stand for. They are our life and soul. And as Srila Govinda Maharaj said, and we heard it very recently, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat is a memorial to Srila Guru Maharaj. That is Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. So we remember him, his teaching, his manner and everything. And that was Guru Dev, that was Govinda Maharaj's whole life and soul. So here we are in the year 2021. And the fortunate souls, the good souls, of which there are so many around the world, they are going on. And for 6 years, after a little while, actually after 4 years after Gurudev passed away, then for 6 years was traveling and meeting many devotees in many places around the world. And some very hidden means, we know that the devotees are there, but we don't get much direct communication or news. But we see such wonderful communities of devotees, like in Limerick in Ireland. We know the devotees were there, but when we visit, we're invited to go, we go, and we find quite a big group of devotees. And sweet devotees, and nicely looked after. And they're, incidentally, being looked after by Gopeshwar Prabhu, who joined in San Francisco at the same time, the same week as Goswami Maharaj. And so they also have a long history together. And Gopeshwar Prabhu looking after the devotees there in a very fatherly and sincere, serious way, but with affection. Anyway, that's just one example of many. So these are my few words of a little news from here, and inspirational for me, seeing what is the basis of our life. It is having that affectionate desire to satisfy the Vaishnavas, and of course headed by Guru, to satisfy Guru Vaishnava. And this has been born in the hearts of the devotees by the grace of Guru and Vaishnava, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, by the grace of the Chaitya Guru inside, seeing a devotee and somehow or another giving that connection, because within us also some sanction has come from the beginning. We've been given some sanction. Oh yes, here is the treasure. Here I should put my energy. Hare Krishna. So these are a few words from me to get us going, but we would like to hear something from the devotees. Something happens to everybody every week. It's not just another week, it is the week. Something happens to everybody every day, and it shouldn't be, oh, just another day. We're not in a job that I have to go to the job 9 to 5 to get the money to pay the bills so that I can rest at the weekend and go back and start again on Monday. This is not our devotional life. We are reading from the books, we're following the process, we're having a morning program, evening program, and encouraging everybody to do the same, because this is what our ashrams are about, but this is also what the homes of the devotees are about too, because householder life and ashram life, they are very similar in many aspects, that so many things are being done, but when Krishna is at the center, then the home is a temple. The food that comes in is offered to the deity. The bhoga that comes in, everything is Krishna-centered. Just read or sing Bhaktivinoda Thakur's 50 verses of Sharanagati, very short book and very beautiful to go through. And then everybody can see, in whatever position, a householder, sannyasi, grihastha, rich, poor, living in the city, living in the country, none of this matters. It's the mood, the whole view of the world, changing our vision. Hare Krishna. And by the way, the world is perfect. I'll read you just a snippet. I'll read you a snippet. Okay, something else happened this week. Many things. Okay, I'll read you a snippet from this week. And this is from Sri Lanka. Oh, I've got to find it first. Okay, 1 second. This is from Sri Lekha Devidasi in Salt Lake City. And she sent to Keshwananda Prabhu, who is in the festivals in Ukraine, who sent to me. And now I've got to find it. Ah, mamma mia. Oh, you see, I'm learning a little Italian. Actually, I knew that already. Just wait 1 second and we'll be with you. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Okay, I've got it, we're here. So this is, I won't read you the whole quote that he sent, but just a short part. So here's some meditation for me, and I think it'll be meditation for you too, to think about this point. This is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it's taken from Sajjana Toshani from May 1932, issue number 11. May 1932, you see, time passes by. Okay, so we all know Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how like straight, clear, and everything that comes from him is like deep, true, pure, only Krishna consciousness is coming from his mouth. And so he is saying, the world is in no need of any reformer. The world has a very competent person for guiding its minutest happenings. The person who finds that there is scope for reform of the world himself stands in need of reform. The world goes on its own perfect way. No person can deflect it by the breadth of a hair from the course chalked out for it by providence. What is necessary is to change our outlook to this very world. The scriptures declare that it is only necessary to listen with an open mind to the name of Krishna from the lips of a bona fide devotee. As soon as Krishna enters the listening ear, he clears up the vision of the listener so that he no longer has any ambition of ever acting the part of a reformer of any other person, because he finds that nobody is left without the very highest guidance. It is therefore his own reform by the grace of God, whose supreme necessity and nature he is increasingly able to realize by the eternally continuing mercy of the Supreme Lord. All right, now we know that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said profound things. And this is really, it is one of those things we do have to think about. Hare Krishna. But another place, but we perhaps read on our Back to Basics recently, but I did read in one of our gatherings recently, where Srila Guru Maharaj is explaining that wherever we are situated in the world, and wherever any jiva is situated in any part of the world, or any, not only physical part of the world, in any situation, not only is it deserved, like it's where we're meant to be, it is the perfect place for our betterment. The Lord wants the best for us, and He's put us individually into the perfect place for us as individuals, for our improvement. And then Guru Maharaj is saying that when we can see like that, that not only is we have to tolerate the environment, this, that, and the other, but we must see that I'm in the best situation for me, for my improvement by the grace of the Lord. Then our fortune will be realized very quickly. Now, those weren't Guru Maharaj's exact words, but that was what he was saying. And then I received this short excerpt from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then we think, yes, it's not that, I mean, we've heard it also before, it's not for us to change the environment, we must adapt to that environment. But these are very positive two ways of seeing the environment, coming from Srila Guru Maharaj recently, and then coming from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur recently. Then giving us, quite a slap on the cheek to see, yes, no complaint to the environment, no complaint to the environment. Now that's quite a message in this age where the whole world seems to be very enthusiastically complaining against the environment. We're talking about like the whole world. The devotees have always had a little bit of an objection to the environment, but the whole world, the non-devotees, now they're also having some objection to the environment through the virus and all this stuff. Hare Krishna. Govinda, 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 Govinda. All right. Can I pass the microphone over, please, to Kumkum Didi? Kumkum Didi, please let us hear a few words from you, because you are actually Kumkum and Jivana. Can you say, I'm not talking about physical age. I know you're still both in your 20s, but when did you come to Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, Kumkum, and when did you come to Srila Prabhupada Jivana? What, it was the same year, like a similar time?
I believe so. I came, let's see, it was June of 1971.
Jivana?
I came sometime in 72.
Okay.
Probably August, September 72.
Okay, so in terms of time, you're practically twins. You're practically twins in terms of the course of time. So Kumkum Didi, but anyhow, we've asked to Kumkum Didi just now. So this gives Jivana a few more minutes to think. She knows, she's got a good idea. We'll ask her next to say a few words. So Kumkum Didi, please help us be Krishna conscious.
One of the most wonderful things I've heard about the city of San Jose recently was from Srila Goswami Maharaj. When I was thinking about our physical proximity to where the books were first printed, and everybody always loves to hear about that happening, because it's the whole reason that we learned about, even though Srila Prabhupada had left this world, we were still very blessed. We were gaining in the same way we were gaining from the words of Srila Guru Maharaj. And so we love to, in fact, when I was looking for a place for this temple for Srila Gurudev, I wanted it to be in the same zip code, and it was not too hard to achieve that. But recently, when it came up that to glorify that history, and I got to ask, I first discussed with you, Maharaj, and then got to ask Goswami Maharaj what he thought about having some chronology and some things put together from the many devotees who were there, who contributed. And his answer was so illuminating. And in essence, he was saying that the real beauty of what happened there was that the words of Srila Guru Maharaj were brought. Not so much the fact that it was at that address that they were printed, but that the conception of Srila Guru Maharaj came from there. And he also mentioned that if we wanted to think about a particular place where that conception was manifest, it would be Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat in Navadvip Dham. And that is our very holy mother place. If there's any place in this world, we want to be there. We want to reside there eternally. And so it was very good for me to think about the real reason that we exist is to promote the conception of Srila Gurudev's Guru Maharaj.
Jai. As Gurudev reminded us, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, the divine memorial of Srila Guru Maharaj. Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yes.
Yes, the source, and Guru Maharaj himself said of the mat, this is the worshipful place, not only now, but forever. That from here, the greatest gift has come to the world. And that area that he's saying in the context of Mahaprabhu in his most generous feature, then Mahaprabhu, the most generous Lord, in his most generous feature, distributed himself from here, from that area of Koladeep. But then, of course, for us also, in particular, Guru Maharaj has distributed Mahaprabhu from that very place of Koladeep, and specifically Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And every ashram and every home, every heart of the devotee, they do look to Navadip of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, that the substance of what is Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Yes, Kumkumdiri, beautiful. Jivanadi. Jivana. You're sitting so still, you look like a photograph. May we come and animate you.
That was really, really beautiful, wonderful,
Yes.
beautiful recap and reminder of our roots, especially here in the West, that conception first came from, that conception of Navadvip came here, but that's the conception, Gurudev's, Guru Maharaj's conception. Well, so I was just reading this, was thinking about how Gurudev one time was talking about how it's that the gates, that we're in a prison house here in the material world. I'm changing channels. Is that okay?
Absolutely okay.
Okay, so it's kind of a different subject. And he's talking about how war is inevitable and that we've been tossed into this prison house, Durga Devi's prison house. So he said, but in a war, some will die or be injured. But the gates of Durga's prison house have been broken. He said, otherwise, how is it possible that people are chanting Hare Krishna? He said, the revolution has already erupted, and in the fighting, some may be injured, some may die, but the gate has been broken, and the prisoners are running to Vaikuntha. I just thought that was so amazing. And he said a little bit later on, too, he said, the prisoners were sleeping, but now with this consciousness, they have woken up, a revolt is broken out, and they are escaping. We are so fortunate that in our time it has happened, and we are seeing it. It could have come in the past, or it could come in the future, but we are so fortunate to see the revolution happening now. So I thought that was a really dramatic example and really important. You know how you're always saying how this is a really good time to be here and to be connected, because this is very special. It's a very special time. So that was just, that kind of struck me as being very dramatic and beautiful.
Well, I want to dance, Stephen Aditi. I mean, such happy news. Thank you very much. And it is, I mean, it's the only place I know where there is such an example given, dramatic example.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. There.
I actually found it on the Mott website because I was remembering it one day and I was thinking, where is that example where Gurudev compares this world to a prison and how the prisoners are escaping and it's happening in our lifetime? And so I went to the main Mott website and I searched for prison. Can you believe I found it that way?
You found a prison, okay.
I found it. It sent me to Divine Guidance.
Jai, yes, wonderful.
That is a wonderful, amazing website. That is such a treasure house website.
Well, they're the treasures of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, we cannot deny. Hare Krishna, Paramananda Prabhu, you've got 2 hard acts to follow. Govinda, Govinda.
Dandavad. That example reminded me that we can successfully break out from the house, but then what? Every successful break from the prison house needs a good leader who will tell us where to run, what to do. So we shouldn't forget that. Otherwise, we'll break out of the house and start running in the different directions. Then what will be our success? We'll get caught, same thing, end up in the same prison house. We'll try to break out or lose that opportunity. I mean, it's not happens every day that, you know, the gates are broken in the prison house. It's a very rare event. So we should remember that. And like Maharaj started from quoting Saraswati Thakur, and Saraswati Thakur also said that Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan is the only objective of the Gaudiya Math. There is nothing else. We're not pursuing anything else because with that, everything comes. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopan Gasta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Yagjanti Hi Sumetasa. Mahaprabhu's appearance in this verse, they're describing that he will come to distribute the holy name, and that will be the way. This will be the only way, actually. Kaler Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatiranyata. No other way, no other way. No need to try anything else. There's so many things, religious jungles, Guru Maharaj. So even like considering all, we do need a proper guide in everything we do. And that is very important. And that's what is stressed, importance of finding a good guide. Always on on every step of our life, because we do not know what is the quality of our hearing. Let me speak for myself. I do not know what is quality of my hearing. So I need correction. Like Guru Maharaj's God brothers, they will always look over the shoulder to see, are we doing the right thing? If Guru Maharaj approves that, because they can see in Guru Maharaj full representation of Saraswati Thakur and Guru Varga. So that kind of association, understanding who is in front of you, some luck, some sukriti to actually grasp what the Guru, Krishna is giving, Mahaprabhu is giving. Otherwise, it will be like that story with the mullah and a very nice lady, very affectionate lady. And Guru Maharaj, I think, quoted it, and Gurudev quoted it too. Famous story. When a woman, an elderly woman, was coming to listen to a mullah, and the mullah is delivering a good speech and everybody is inspired, but the lady, she's just shedding tears, the tears running down her cheeks, and she's so emotional. And the mullah is observing this lady for several days, and then after another inspirational talk, he asked, may I ask you a question? Why are you so emotional? Like every time you come here and after my speech, tears pouring from your eyes. Am I saying something that really touching your heart? And the lady shook her head and said, oh, my dear mullah, every time I'm looking at you while you're speaking and I see your beard is shaking, it reminds me about something that was very dear to my heart. And the mullah said, what is that? And she said, oh, one day, in my life, I had a God. And that God was so affectionate. And I always feed that God with some nice things. And the God was very affectionate and loved me so much. So Well, while he's eating some cabbage or a carrot, he was also shaking the beard, just like you, my dear Mullah. And when I'm looking at you, I immediately remembering that God. So do we want our hearing to be of this quality, a God quality or a flea quality? Of course not. So we have to think about it and really finding a proper source, connecting to a proper current is what we have to be concerned about on every step of our life. Are we actually connected to the proper current? Are we going right? Are we going left? Or are we going straight, exactly where our Guru, our Divine Master told us to continue? So that is something Srila Gurudev called self-realization in Amnaya Tattva. Gurudev speaks about it a lot, and I'm thinking, oh, science of self-realization. Okay, how is that happening? Famous book of Prabhupada. But then Gurudev explains it. We have to be sincere to ourselves, to correct ourselves. We are not wasting time correcting others. We have to correct ourselves. And if some responsibility comes with the service, yes, you have that responsibility with the help of senior Vaishnavas, with the help of your Guru Varga instructions. You may try to attempt to correct others, but really our main engagement is self-correction, self-realization. That's what Srila Gurudev was speaking. So it's in our interest to find the proper source, to find the proper current, the current, where the divine energy is coming down to us. That is our main objective. And in Guru Maharaj's words, find a proper, what is it, Maharaj? What was Guru Maharaj was saying? Exact words? Acquiring a proper angle of vision.
Got it, yeah.
And really, it's the part of that too. Anyhow, all I wanted to say.
Jai. And also illustrating Guru Maharaj, everybody knows that Guru Maharaj is so deep, so serious, so pure, everything. But Guru Maharaj also sense of humor and very personal, everything included within Guru Maharaj. He's not a philosophy machine, even though he's giving us so many teachings, but with heart and with humor. And when he spoke, he's also transmitting, doing exactly the process of transmitting. That, yes, here, listen to this. Do you understand? And then he hears a timid yes, perhaps, and then he understands, didn't understand, otherwise it would be another kind of a yes, perhaps, coming out, and then Guru Maharaj explaining in different ways, but very personal and very sweet. And that story, we've sat at Guru Maharaj's lotus feet and heard him tell that story. And you could say, definitely a little bit of humor there. In the context of Bengal, perhaps we need to just move ourselves into Bengal a little bit for
There's another one they used to tell, not connected to our theme, but connected to a Muslim person and his beard. That's about the mango, Maharaj.
Oh, the mango. Okay, for another day. Praneshwari Devirasi. I saw a hand.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. You have a message in the chat regarding the quote that you received. If it's possible to get the source of that quote.
Yes, we can have the source. Sajjana Toshini, May 1932, volume 11. And just in case you don't have that in your library, which actually everybody does, no doubt, if we know how to click around, which I'm not so good at. But why is it not pasting? But technology, we have to get Krishna's sanction for technology to work, don't we? Click, copy, go there and paste. Why it's not pasting? Who knows? maybe it's not meant to be.
Maharaj, I also read something similar in the week, but if also something on the topic, but I'll just have to get it and then share it if that's okay.
Yes, okay. And for some reason, and is this a sign? It's not allowing me to paste it in the chat box. Why? I cannot say why.
Try to go to file and send it through file, not to paste.
Okay, very smart. This is why we need our friends. So, okay, I'll make it into a file. So the world. Krishna, Krishna, Govinda, 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 wild. Oh, I was forgetting Mahaprabhu. Okay, I was thinking, why is this difficult to do? Something that should be easy. But if we do difficult things, but remember Mahaprabhu, they become easy. But if we do easy things and forget Mahaprabhu, they become difficult. So I forgot Mahaprabhu. Praneshwari was remembering Mahaprabhu. So now between us, no, it's not letting me put anything in there.
It's there. It's called the world.
It's there. The whole world is in the chat box. That's pretty good.
Yes, on a PDF.
There you go. But strange, I haven't come across that before. Even though it's in my clipboard, it's not allowing me to paste repeatedly. Not allowing me to paste.
I will send it to Praneshwari Didi, and she knows how to do it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Paramananda Prabhu, he did it. He doesn't know he did it,
Oh,
but it's already in the chat.
All right.
Something's wrong with my chat because I can't see these things in my chat.
It's already there. It's already there.
All right, everything is good. The world goes on and we won't get caught up with the technology, but we will try to get caught up with Krishna.
Maharaj, you mentioned at the beginning two things. You said the energy of the devotees, and then after you said affectionate desire to satisfy Sri Guru and Vaishnava. So
Yes.
both are Sukriti. We get that as Sukriti, to remember to have this affectionate inclination to try to satisfy the Vaishnavas, to try to satisfy Sri Guru. The question is, how do we keep focused on not forgetting that it is a gift? It's not that, oh wow, now I understand it. We can get all puffed up. So how do we keep really focused? And is a gift from Gurudev.
Associate with the devotees and follow the daily program. I mean, this is my advice because it's with the devotees that we are getting some opportunity to serve, but some opportunity to share all the things that we read and that we sing. It makes everything alive. It is much more alive. And as we've read in Bhagavad Gita, Machita Margata Prana, this shloka, and this is one of the 4 seed slokas of Gita, that when the devotees come together, they're sharing of their discourses and realizations. This is the nourishment. So as we're doing now, and as hopefully in all the temples, the devotees come together and they are serving together, hearing together, and following the program together. Guru Maharaj stressed the morning program so much, if someone doesn't come to the morning program, not to give them breakfast. They will not be given breakfast. That's Guru Maharaj. And he's stressing this. So we must try to give ourselves a morning program wherever we are. And it is by this that we are also getting the propaganda, if you like, the world of propaganda, but the good propaganda, the propaganda about Krishna's land, Krishna's pastimes. So many things are coming from there. And how is that coming? It's coming through Srila Guru Maharaj, through Srila Prabhupada, and through Srila Gurudev. There we're getting our absolute gold standard of what is what. That's why we're reading their books. That's why we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam from them. So many things like this. So to follow the process, this is the thing. And as we have given the analogy different times, how can we expect to be healthy and strong if we don't have nourishment in the material world? If we don't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, for one day, we're going to be weak. If we don't do it for 2 days, we're not going to be very functional. 3 days, then our material activities is not going to be very fruitful. So similarly, spiritually, we won't have much strength rather than fruitful. We won't have much strength to do anything. So spiritually, we have to keep nourishing. We have to maintain what we have and proceed to go on. And Guru Maharaj gave an example, like a bird flying. He has to flap his wings. If he stops flapping his wings, he drops down. So we must keep flapping our wings, because these wonderful things are right there. And I asked, I should I maybe did make a note, but I'm not sure it was with us a few days ago. I did ask a few days ago to a devotee at least, please read Inner Fulfillment at least twice in a row and read it paragraph by paragraph. Read a paragraph and see what is there. Read a paragraph, not to read the book. Oh, I read the book. Because so much is in such a small book as Inner Fulfillment. What to speak of going to the bigger books? Because so much devotees, these things come out. This is the fact. So this is my immediate thought, Praneshwari Didi. Association and regular actual practice wherever we are. And if we have the fortune to be in a temple, that's wonderful. If not, we still have the fortune to have our home as a temple. And if we're homeless, we still have the fortune to have our heart as a temple. So we are not short of a temple. And that was also, as we started with a quote from Srila Saraswati Thakur, then, or second was a quote from Srila Saraswati Thakur, then also Srila Saraswati Thakur saying, when he was challenged, oh, so now you are making so many temples in so many cities and towns. Do you want to make are you trying to make a temple in every town? He said, no, I'm trying to make a temple. My wish is to make a temple in every heart. So we have a heart, I'm told. So let us make nicely the temple there. But we have Bhagavan Prabhu with us, and he's been very quietly in several meetings over the last few months anyway. I see Bhagavan Prabhu, your presence in the Chiang Mai programs and perhaps some other programs. And I don't know, you can say, what year did you come to join with Gurudev or Guru Maharaj? Perhaps I think you're from Guru Maharaj's time, Bhagavan Prabhu. Yes, Guru Maharaj's disciple.
Yes. Dandavad Maharaj. Yes. But and that was in 1982. First I was some program was two sannyas living here in the program. There was about Maharaj and Brahmana, and I started joining the temple with them. Then I hear about Srila Srila Maharaj, and then I try to connect with the devotees, of course. And then I went there to Navadip when there was in 1986, 85, and the first time I went there, that I met you there. And since that time, I'm hearing in a very happily way from you people, and trying to, like you said, the temple is inside the heart, and by the inspiration of Sri Guru and the devotees, I've been trying to every day to remember and thinking and doing. Very like a small program, but every day we're working by the inspiration of Sri Guru and the devotees. Since that time, as I remember the grace of Sila Sila Maharaj, Sila Govinda Maharaj, and the devotees, and that inspiring me to maintain, or always I'm dreaming about those times. And in the present, you devotees, I've been, hearing new things from the devotee. Like you said, it's always in the present. We remind us all things that we heard from since long time ago, and still they're there, and they have their own new life, and it's real nice to hear from you people. And that's my life, Maharaj, to hear from the devotees. I'm very happy hearing from you and the other devotees. I like to hear a lot from the devotees because it's hard for me to learn. I've been joining with the devotees since a long time ago, but I don't understand too much about the process. So I hear from you, I will be able to practice sometimes. It's like that.
Krishna, Krishna. Is it my internet? Jai, Bhagavan Prabhu, very happy to hear from you and hear your expressions. And sometimes we say that we don't want to live in the past, but we do not want to forget the past. We want to have the past in the present, means all of those inspirational things. And as we mentioned at the very beginning about the opening of this ashram where I am in Italy, that it's almost like past, present, and future. Sometimes we can say that, past, present, and future. We get a little glimpse at it. The past does exist with us at the moment, with all these things that have taken place. So let us not forget the past, but we're living in the present, and we'll go on with that remembrance and that nourishment of those special days. And yes, there's a whole history. And when you mention Avadut Maharaj, this means, of course, Avadut Maharaj of Venezuela and Pramana Swami, then immediately we're thinking about all the devotees and the whole community of the Vaishnavas. From that time, we do remember. Hare Krishna. All right. And I see, yes, Nitai Gorpinandi, Hari Hari Bo. And I see, yes, that Seva Rupadiri, she has found the quotation from.
It says it is from the, let me just check here. It didn't want to also paste the whole part of it. So the end part is missing, but it's from the loving search for the lost servant.
All right, beautiful. So would you like to read that for us, Seva? Sorry, I'm myself getting lost. Because I'm reading one thing. Yes, Seva Rupadiri, would you like to read that for us, kindly, the quote?
Okay, yes, I will, Maharaj. Just maybe the Sanskrit parts, I'm not too good, but let me try. So it's all responsibilities with me. Bhagavad Gita says you can't change the environment. If you want peace, you must regulate yourself according to the environment. The whole gist of Bhagavad Gita's advice is found here. Try to adjust yourself for the environment because you are not the master of the environment. All your energy should be devoted to regulating yourself and not the outside world. This is the key to success in spiritual life. Bhakti does not depend on the environment or on the dealings of others. It is ahutuki apara. Aprahit, aprahihata. Nothing can obscure that flow except our own ego. I am my own greatest enemy. Okay, I'm going to maybe leave that part out, but the Sanskrit part means we can elevate ourselves or degrade ourselves. We are our own best friend or worst enemy. No force outside can check us if we are sincere. Of course, for beginners, there is some concern about a proper environment for spiritual cultivation. But even where that is also dependent on the nature of their sincerity. So I think this part cuts out, or sukriti. The assurance is given here by Krishna. He says, I'll be there to look after you in any unfavorable circumstance. I am omniscient and I am omnipotent also. So if anyone is directed towards me, I'll look after him. And it has also been seen in history, in the cases of Dhruva, Prahlad, and so many others. Sincerity is invincible. Even obstacles may improve our position if we can take them in the right way. From a higher angle of vision, it may be seen that everything is coming to help us. Excerpt from the book Loving Search for the Lost Servant, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj.
Wonderful, wonderful, and such an appropriate excerpt for today. And well read. And keep trying when you read the verses because you'll get it. Ahaituki apratihata.
Thank you.
All is good, very good. So, a moment at least from Praneshwari Devidasi. She's always an MC, but a little contribution. I know we're a little bit over time, but time is a material element. And we've been talking about the present time, our fortune. Yes, Praneshwari Devi.
No, thank you, Maharaj, because you gave the key. Association is the most important thing, and time flies so quickly that the only thing that we can do is to offer ourselves to the devotees, to the service of Shri Guru, trying to please him with our heart, disregarding our handicaps. We just try to offer what is in our hearts, what is in our hands. Thank you so much for clarifying that to me. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. And whatever is in our hand, Gurudev used to like saying, if I'm a businessman, if I have 5 rupees, I will do business with 5 rupees. If I have 5 lakhs rupees, I will do business with 5 lakhs rupees. But whatever we have, we will continue. So this is our spirit. He gave that, of course, as an example for our spiritual life. Whatever is our capital, we'll utilize that for the purpose of our business, which means our business is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
One little thing for the devotees, I just copy pasted the quote. So if you want to copy it before we disconnect, the chat lasts until we close the chat, until we close the session.
Oh, yes. Okay, I see that. Yes. All right. All right, dear devotees, good having each of you with us. And next time, then Jayade Prabhu, Radhasundari Rupanuga Prabhu, we'll try to give you the first opportunity to say a few words because today We didn't give you a chance. And I know you have some words. Each of you have some words, no doubt. So this is our heads up for the next gathering. And each of you can give a little contribution. And we would like to see some things from Govardhan, but I'm not able to just now. So Radha Sundari is in Govardhan, and Jayadevu and Chintamani are in one side of the bridge between Hawaii and Southern California, the mainland side, and Rupanuga Prabhu is down under in another part of beautiful nature. Oh, look, there's a picture. Oh, Radha Sundari showing us the temple. Jai Shri Anu Giriraj Juki Rai. This is the Govardhan temple. Oh, looking very green. Looking very green. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Where is it? That's the gate. Oh, that's the gate. I know the gate very well. Oh my goodness, look how green. The cows are not coming in and eating the grass. The white cow that looks so affectionate but gives a good butt with his horn.
They always want to come and eat the grass, but the temple have their own cows.
All right, they do. They got their own cows now.
Yes,
right.
they got two. This is Kanai Lal Prabhu is going to make puja for Gurudev.
Jai Kanai Lal Prabhu is there serving.
Madhusudan Maharaj, you want to... Yes.
Yeah, Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj.
Kanai Lal Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Very wonderful seeing you there.
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Gurudev's Pushpa Samadhi, Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Shri Swami Ashram ki Jai.
Jai Madhusudan Maharaj ki
Jai.
Dandavat.
Yes. Yeah, I can. Yes, of course. Then.
Oh, they put, this is the Samadhi of Srila Gurudev, where we very much feel his presence. Oh, you see, it must have been raining nicely. Oh, very nice. Now is fully covered over the front with that thorny, flowery bush.
And I believe very fragrant.
Maybe the functionality there is particularly the thorns to stop the monkeys climbing on the top and being naughty on the devotees who were sitting underneath and reading and chanting, because the monkeys do like to be naughty. I leave it to your own imagination what kind of naughtiness they get up to if they're on the top and people are sitting under them. And look, the cows, the corridor. Wow.
Radha Sundari is our transcendental reporter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So anyhow, Radha Sundari, I have to pull myself away from the vision of Govardhan that you're sharing with us. Not only Govardhan, the ashram made by Gurudev with heart, also in glorification of Guru Maharaj. The Srila Sridhar Swami Seva Ashram. The name tells us what to speak of anything else. So Jai Srila Sridhar Swami Seva Ashram ki Jai Shri Anu Giriraj is the name of the deity here. Anu Shri Anu Giriraj ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Om Vishnupad, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakkhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Vishwarenya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And 6 Goswami, Shad Goswami ki Jai. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Shrivat Paramananda Prabhu ki jai, Kumkum Devi Rasi ki jai, Jeevan Diti ki jai, Bhagavan Prabhu ki jai, all of the devotees present here and on Facebook also, to all of you. Then my jais to each of you. From Sevarupa from Mexico is with us also on Facebook. Jai Sevarupa to yourself, to all of the family there. Of course, remembering you all very closely. Obeisances to you. And to Madhava Prabhu, obeisances, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, or Rupa Vilas Prabhu there, to their obeisances. And to all who will see presently also the recording, then very happy to have you with us. We feel that your presence happily, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.